Alright, good morning my lovely scholars. Welcome back to the channel. This morning we're going to look at changing improper fractions to mixed numbers. Now you can check out the video that was done on changing mixed numbers to improper fractions. So that's the opposite. You can also look at reducing fractions to their lowest terms, because the instruction here says change these improper fractions to mixed numbers and reduce to their lowest terms. So we're going to make them as small as possible, the smallest version of themselves. So if you don't know how to reduce fractions to their lowest terms, just check out the video that I did on that, and then you can come back to this video, or you can just stay tuned. Maybe you'll pick up as we go along. It's not really hard to do, right? We're just finding a number that can go into the denominator and the numerator and divide both the denominator and numerator by that number. That's all it really is, right? But if you need that additional practice, you can check out that particular video. Alright, so to recap the definitions for improper fractions and mixed numbers. So we said in the video before this one, in which I changed from mixed to improper. In that video we defined the terms, and we said that a proper fraction is where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. In the improper fraction, the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And in the mixed number, we have a whole number to the left and a fractional part to the right of the whole number. So I'm going to write a group of improper fractions. So in these fractions, the numerator will be bigger than the denominator. And then I'm going to show you how to change them back to mixed numbers. I'm going to try and do a lot of them so you can get practice, right? In maths, you really need to get your practice in, and that's how you're going to sharpen up your skills. So I'm going to put as many as the board can hold so that we can get our practice. And we're going to bear in mind to reduce the mixed numbers to their lowest terms. So I think I can put some on this side as well, just to make sure we get that practice in, okay? Get as much practice in as we possibly can. That's how we're going to be sharpening our skills. Alright, that should do it. That should keep us occupied, right? This should keep us occupied. We have a good amount of them to do practice. Alright, so we're changing the improper fractions to mixed numbers and remembering to reduce the answers to their lowest terms. So the steps are, we divide the numerator by the denominator, right? And we are going to get a remainder. Most times we're going to get a remainder. That remainder, we're going to put it back over the denominator. So when you divide the numerator by the denominator and you get your answer, the quotient, put the quotient as a whole number to the left. The remainder you're going to put at the top of the fraction, draw the bar, and put the denominator below that. So seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. So let's actually do it. 2 goes into 7 3 times, but not exactly three times. There's a remainder of 1. Because 3 2s are 6, so there's a remainder of 1. So we put that 1 over 2. Put the remainder of 1 back over the 2. 3 goes into 4 1 time. There's a remainder of 1, and we put that back over the 3. So you see the steps? We divide the numerator by the denominator. That quotient, that result that we get from dividing, we're putting it as a whole number in front, and it's going to be to the left. And the remainder that we had, we put the remainder as a new numerator and put back the denominator. So now we have created a mixed number. It's called mixed because we have a whole number part and a fractional part. 2 goes into 5 2 times, remainder 1, back over the 2. 7 goes into 10 1 time, there's a remainder of 3, we put that back over 7. So far, we have not had anything that needed to be reduced. These fractions are already in their lowest terms, right? So we have been good so far, nothing to cancel, nothing to reduce. 10 goes into 18 1 time, and there's a remainder of 8, and we put that back over 10. But if we look at 8 and 10, we see that they can be reduced because there's a common factor. There's a number that can go into 8 that can also go into 10, and that's 2. So we can use 2 to reduce this fraction. 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 10 5. So the final answer, the reduced answer, is 1 and 4/5. Now 4/5 cannot be reduced any further. So it is in its lowest terms. 4 goes into 11 2 times, remainder 3 over 4. 3/4 cannot be reduced, so we're good with that. 8 goes into 19 2 times because 2 8s are 16. So from 16 to 19, that's a remainder of 3. Put it back over the 8, and 3 8s cannot be reduced any further. It's already in its lowest form. 5 goes into 14 2 times because 2 5s are 10. So from the 14, if we take 10, we're left with 4. That 4 we're going to put as the new numerator and put the 5 back as the denominator. 4/5 is already in its lowest terms. So far, we have only been required to reduce one of the fractions. We don't know how many of these we're going to need to reduce, or if they're already going to be in their lowest term. We just have to do it and see. 2 goes into 3 1 time, remainder 1. Put it back over the denominator of 2. 5 goes into 7 1 time, remainder 2. Put that back over 5. So these are already in their lowest terms, nothing to reduce. 5 goes into 6 1 time with a remainder of 1, and we put that back over the 5. Alright, so we're good to go, we're coming along nicely. 9 goes into 13 1 time, and there's a remainder of 4, we put that back over 9. 6 goes into 10 1 time, there's a remainder of 4 over 6. Now 4 over 6 can be reduced by 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times, 2 goes into 6 3 times. The final answer is 1 and 2/3. So this one we had to reduce. 5 goes into 12 2 times, 2 5s are 10, so from the 12, if we take out 10, we have 2 left back. And then the denominator is 5. 3 goes into 8 2 times because 3 2s are 6. And so there's a remainder of 2. And we put that back over the 3. 2/3, 2/5, they don't need to be reduced. They're already in their lowest terms. 11 goes into 20 once. There's a remainder of 9 over 11. And 9/11 does not need any simplification. It is already in its simplest form, its lowest terms. 14 goes into 15 only once. We can get one group of 14 out of 15. And when we do that, we're left with a remainder of 1, and that remainder goes back over the 14. 11 goes into 12 once, and there's a remainder of 1, because 11 just needs one more to make 12. So 11 goes into 12 one time, there's a remainder of 1. 7 goes into 9 one time, there's a remainder of 2. These cannot be reduced. 1/14, 1/11, 2/7. The only common factor they share is 1, and you know that if you divide anything by 1, you're going to get back the same answer, so you just leave them as they are. 4 goes into 6 once, and there's a remainder of 2 over 4. Now 2 over 4 can be reduced. 2 can go into 2 once, 2 can go into 4 twice. The final answer here is 1 and a half. 1 and a half. 7 goes into 11 once, and there's a remainder of 4. Put it back over the denominator of 7. 4/7 cannot be reduced any further. It is already in its simplest form. So we have a couple more to go. So let's do that. So 25 goes into 20 exactly 4 times. Exactly 4 times. Okay? So we did not get any remainder. Therefore, we just have to write the whole number. We can't make things up. We just have to write what we got. So 5 goes exactly into 20 4 times. 10 goes into 11 once, and there's a remainder of 1 over 10. 7 goes into 24 3 times, because 3 times 7 are 21. 3 7s 21. So 7 goes into 24 3 times. And if we took 21 from 24, we get a remainder of 3, and we put it back over 7. 8 goes into 14 one time. There are 6 remaining out of the 8, and 6 and 8 can be reduced by 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. So that's 1 and 3/4, 1 and 3/4. 3 goes into 10 3 times with a remainder of 1, and that remainder goes back over 3. 1 goes into 2 exactly 2 times, no remainder. And finally, 7 goes into 15 2 times, since 2 7s are 14. And if we take out the 14 out of the 15, we have 1 remaining. So we put that 1 back over the 7. And these fractions cannot be reduced. 1/10 is in its lowest form. 3/7, only 1 is the common factor of 3 and 7. It cannot be reduced. 3/4 cannot be reduced any further. 1/3, 1/7, they are all in their simplest terms. So we did what we were asked to do. We were given 2 instructions. Our task had 2 parts to perform. First, we were asked to change the improper fractions to mixed numbers. And we did that. And then we were told, when you get those answers, reduce them to their lowest terms. Some of them did not need any further reduction, so our life was made quite easy. For a number of them, they did not need any reduction. They were already in their simplest terms. However, for some of them, we actually had to go and find a number find a common factor that could reduce them and bring them to their lowest terms. So we did that for the ones that required it, right? So just to recap, a mixed number has a whole number part and a fractional part. Improper fractions, the numerators are bigger than the denominators. So that means the number at the top is bigger than the number at the bottom. For the proper fraction, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. The number at the top is smaller than the number at the bottom. If we are changing from improper fractions to mixed numbers, we divide the numerator by the denominator. We see how many times 2 can go into 7, how many times 3 can go into 4, how many times 2 can go into 5, and so on. When we get that answer, we put it as a whole number in front. So the quotient, the result of dividing the numerator by the denominator, we put that as a whole number to the left. And usually we're going to get a remainder. Usually it's not going to be able to go exactly into the numerator. So the remainder that you get, you're going to create a new fraction with that by putting the remainder as the numerator and rewriting the denominator as the denominator over here as well. Right? So that is how we change from improper fractions to mixed numbers. You can always go back and review the video that was done on changing mixed numbers to improper fractions. So look out for the other videos having to do with fractions. We have many of them for fractions. We have reducing fractions. We have changing mixed to improper, improper to mixed. We have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division of fractions. We have arranging fractions in ascending order as well as descending order. So make sure you are well versed. Fractions is one of those topics that a lot of students find very challenging at all levels. So you need to make sure that you know all aspects of it, right? So watch all of those videos, make sure you're on top of things, right? So if you have been helped by this video, please drop a comment just to say, thank you, miss, thank you for helping me. And I'm always encouraging you to share these videos so that other students can benefit from the information. Remember, our mission for this channel, our mission is to remove the fear of mathematics. And many persons fear mathematics. Many persons, children, adults, they fear mathematics, and we want to remove that fear. We want persons to understand that this is doable. This is very doable. You know, it's manageable at least. And I want you to develop a love and a passion for mathematics. So as scholars, as mathematicians, we know that we need to put in our practice. So that's the reason why I'm always giving you lots and lots of examples so that you can get in that practice. Alright, so I'm going to see you in the next videos, and I would love for you, if I have not done a particular topic that you would like me to do a video on, please leave that in the comments. Let me know which topic you'd like me to look at, and I will certainly do that for you. So until next time, scholars, take care. I'll see you